Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very, very big video indeed. Now we're going to be cycling from the northernmost point in Wales to the southernmost point in Wales, and we've already had to walk quite a fair bit to get to the northernmost point in Wales, so we're going to walk back to our bicycles and start cycling. So as you can see, it is a few months later, and now the reason we didn't upload it right away is because we didn't think we had enough footage to make a real video out of it.
And it isn't even so much that we've realised that we do. What we realised most of all is that we wanted it to be a video, not least for our own benefit, so that we've got something to remember the occasion by, because it was a pretty good adventure.
On the first day, which was about 60 miles, we had to travel from the north of Anglesey, from Cemaes to Porthmadog.
You didn't think it was going to be a very good adventure, though, did you?
No. Well, I still didn't, and still don't. No, just joking. It was torture at some parts, it is the best word. In fact, I described it as so.
Can I just ask, at what point did it become torture? Was it within the first 100 yards by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, the first 10 miles. This is one of the reasons actually that we didn't really do as much footage as we would have liked. The first 10 miles were painful.
They were, until we reached this cafe, at which point things started to go slightly better. And can I say, it was the nicest cafe I have ever seen. Fast rest stop.
So when we came out of the cafe, we were a bit more refreshed, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
But we weren't refreshed enough to take any videos.
We weren't.
Because we didn't do another video for the entirety of that first day.
No, we didn't. Yeah. Well, because on the first day we finished off at Porthmadog, and then we stayed the night at home, and then we continued from Porthmadog the next day.
Do you remember on the way to Porthmadog we took a wrong turning? Because I read the map wrong.
Oh yes, yes.
And we should have been on this tiny lovely little bicycle path. This is after we'd come off the main quite steep bicycle path.
That hill went on for ages. That's what I described as torture, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another reason that we didn't film on the first day, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Because that hill went on for ages. But when we got to the end of that hill, we were supposed to take a little cut across the main road to a lovely little country lane.
Yeah.
But I misjudged where the country lane was, and we ended up on the main road. And by the time we were on the main road, it was too late to do anything about it. And we had to literally, this is after doing like 45, 50 miles. Yeah. We had to pedal as hard and as fast as we could.
For about 2.5, 3 miles.
It was
4 miles.
Yeah.
Really,
we had to pedal as hard and as fast as we could for 4 miles, just to avoid getting killed to death. We did do an introduction though on day 2.
We did.
And here it is.
So it is the second day of our travels, and we're just about to set off from Porthmadog. I'm afraid we didn't get much footage yesterday because we didn't have much time. Things were aching because we haven't cycled this distance before. So we're going to be trying to go to
Machynlleth via Barmouth.
Today via Barmouth.
Okay.
So without further ado, let's set off.
Yeah, let's do that.
What really annoys me is we didn't film anything at the cafe in Harlem.
We didn't, did we?
No.
It's a shame, because that was really nice. No. The cafe in Harlem was lovely. We did our usual thing while we were there. We did our usual thing of looking at the fields.
Yes, we did.
To see if the cows really existed.
Yeah. And they didn't.
They didn't. They never do. That is to say,
they do exist, but they don't move.
They don't move.
Can I just say that? Can I? So, we're in a location that is very special because it's the same park as the taxi video. been a while.
Yeah. Hey, we got down from Harlech pretty quick then, didn't we? Really?
We did. I hit a top speed of 32.9 miles per hour.
Which is pretty good.
Which is my personal best.
We'll have a look now, see how far we've done on this journey. I think
yes.
At Harlech we were about 9 miles in. I think on today's journey, I reckon we've maybe done about another 4
miles.
Yeah.
13 miles.
13 miles in on the day. So we'll see. We forgot to do any videoing at Harlech though, but we did enjoy sitting down and having a cup of tea.
We did. I got up here by climbing up this post.
Can you slide down the post?
I can, and guess what? I can go up the post again. Okay, so we have arrived in Barmouth. We've gone to Co-op to grab some food. We've got a food here. I've got a wrap, a drink, some pork pies, and we're enjoying the view. This is the last time we see the sea until we get to our destination. I've got an ice cream. I'm enjoying myself. So let's go.
It's very, very bouncy, so it's hard to get a good shot.
Day 2.
Oh, that horrible hill.
Oh, the hill. It went.
The hill was horrible. And, yeah, you can describe it better.
Well, no, you don't. You could describe it better. You hated more than me. Well, actually, no, you didn't. I hated the second day's hill more than you.
Yeah, you did.
But you go on. You tell them all about it.
Yeah, the hill on day 2 was appalling. It just went on forever. Every time we got to a top of...
No, that was day 3's hill.
No. Every time we got up to a little section,
Yeah.
there was a corner, and it went on for another little section, then another little section, it just went on for ages. This hill has gone on forever. There was a road over there, which was the lowest point of a hill that had been going on for about 2.5 miles, and now we've started going up another hill which has taken us about 25 minutes so far, and we're about 1.5 miles up, 2.5 miles up, so we're close to the top, as you can see.
We long since ran out of energy, so we're walking at the moment.
Yes, we're going to continue, and then hopefully there'll be a downhill afterwards.
But we did it, and we finished the day in the country.
We did. Took us about 55 miles.
Yeah, 55 miles, I think.
55 miles, something like it.
And, yeah, when we finished that day, there was a tennis table where we were staying, but we didn't film it.
That was good, yeah.
We'll say something like, well, not with the egg.
I thought there was a photograph.
No.
So I've got my food, I've got a drink, and we're set in a pub because we've arrived at the campsite.
What was your highlight of day 2?
I wouldn't say there was much highlights involved. Probably the hill, because though it was horrible, it was probably the highlight and probably the most memorable thing of the trip.
It was very memorable. In fact, I found that, didn't you find that quite a lot of the really nasty bits have retrospectively turned out to be the nicest memories.
Yeah. On day 3, we travelled all the way from Machynlleth to Bilth Wells.
Yes, and that was a hard journey because
yes, it was very much so, very long.
We knew that the first thing we were going to come across was a hill, And I was quite pleased about that, because I thought, well, we can get that out of the way while we're fresh, and then it's going to be kind of downhill. So we start going up the hill, and we're nearly at the top of this hill, and we're absolutely exhausted. And we saw a house with this bit of shade, bit of shady sort of wall sticking out by it, and we thought, well, we'll sit on that wall and get a little bit of shade, try and refresh ourselves for the last bit of the hill. And this lovely lady comes out of the house and asks us if we're okay. And I say, yeah, we're fine. We're just a bit hot. And she said, do you want a, cup of tea or a glass of water or something? So she got us some glasses of water. And we're talking to her. And so I just think, I'll just make sure how far up the hill we are. And I say, are we sort of, halfway up the hill, 3/4 of the way up the hill, a quarter of the way up the hill? And she stopped and she thought. And she said, well, I think you're probably nearly a quarter of the way up the hill. Which was horrifying, wasn't it? Because
it
we were
was
already
horrifying.
Absolutely exhausted.
Disheartening.
Yeah, very disheartening. But we did get up, and here's us at the top.
So this is the highest point we'll be at any stage of the journey. We're 500 meters high at the moment. I mean, to be honest, if I'd have shown you when we were back over there, you'd have seen that we were that far in the sky, because it was obvious you could look around and see mountains. But now, to be honest, it just looks like we're on a moor in the middle of the West Country. It doesn't really, there's like nothing. To be honest, at the moment, it just looks like we're on a moor, and it doesn't really look like we're that high up at all. But we are, and it took us a long time to get up here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is day 3, and I was very keen this morning to get off, so we didn't film that much. But straight away, there was a massive mountain that we had to get up, which took a lot of our time. Every ounce of energy we had, it kind of took out of us. So, we've made it to the top of the mountain. We've had some lunch. Well, not really lunch.
Sorry.
But more like a snack. So we're going to set off now, and we're going to try to get to the bottom of the mountain. So could I just have those sheets? Or where did they go? See, if we had to go down the mountain that we just came up, it would be a painful downhill, if that makes sense. So we would have to squeeze onto our brakes, and it would be quite painful. We would have broken fingers by the end of it. So, as you can see, this was the hill that we had to climb up. It was 600 meters high, and the end
500 meters.
500 meters. And as you can see, the end of today is quite high up still. So after this, we're going to set off, and hopefully this downhill won't be too large. So let's put these back in the bag, and let's set off. Yeah, going down the hill was much better than the hill on day 2. Much better. It was much easier because it was going down and then up a little bit, then down, up a little bit, and it was just going gently down.
He thinks it's a photograph.
Oh, I thought it was a photograph.
That was the owls.
Was that the owls?
The owls' bed and breakfast. They were so nice. It is unbelievable. And the room was lovely.
My back was so burnt that I had to have a cold shower. I was too scared of having a warm shower just in case my back started peeling off. But anyway, we won't go into that.
And your legs were burned.
On the 4th day, we've travelled from Bill to Wells to Mother Tidfield.
But that was a great one. We had a lovely curry.
Yes, the curry was very nice.
They gave us some lovely breakfast before we left the house.
The breakfast was nice.
Did you enjoy your breakfast?
Oh, it's a video. I keep thinking it's a photograph for some reason.
That's because you're very tired.
Yeah, Yes, we've had some food. I've had a cup of tea. I've had some orange juice. I've had some Welsh cakes. And we're about to set off. I'm very tired. And I've got burns up my leg, which is also quite annoying.
Shall we see them?
Yes. Well, I mean, you can't really see it until I do that.
Yeah, it doesn't look as bad as it did yesterday. It's brown.
It doesn't, yeah, it's brown, so it's not.
It was bright
Not
red
really
yesterday.
hurting as much, but yeah. So let's set off. Might fall onto the toilet, but never mind. Right. Hello. So this is our hotel room. I haven't actually shown you it because we've just been so busy, and my legs have been so tired. So this is my bed. I mean, this was my bed. We're now going. That was Daddy's bed.
And this is in Bilthwells, and it's called the
And-
Owls.
Indeed, this is the toilet.
It's lovely. Lovely
little
place.
toilet. Lovely. And our view from outside is that. And I believe we're going to be heading down that road. Oh, no, down that way, okay. For the next little stint. So without further ado, let's go. The lovely cafe. The secret cafe. The surprise cafe.
The surprise cafe.
Surprise cafe.
Go on, tell me about the surprise cafe. It was a railway.
It was a
station,
railway station with 3 carriages alongside each other,
but it
built
wasn't
into a
railway
cafe,
station.
and it was lovely. We had I had 2 Twixes and a Fanta, I think.
We have found.
I keep looking at the photograph.
We found a juicy.
We found
Drink
a juicy drink stop. I've got some Fanta. This is a very unusual place, actually. It's got 3 carriages lined up. With a cafe.
It really is unusual. It's an old railway station, so they've got carriages on the railway tracks, but they're like shops and cafes. And It's quite nice. It's a good idea. And out there is a view of the river, if you can see. Very nice indeed.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we were sat right on a wall because we'd stopped. There was a farm at the bottom of a hill,
Yeah.
and we'd misjudged our water completely. So we got like 1 dribble left, which we were saving for you, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we were sat under this like yew tree on a wall in the shade, because everything that wasn't under this yew tree was about 1,000,000 degrees centigrade, right? The world was literally melting, and we didn't have any water. And I was scared. I could see a hill coming up that we were going to have to climb up, and I was frightened that we wouldn't make it up the hill if we didn't get water. And we'd stopped at the farm to see if there was anyone there that could give us some water, but there wasn't. So we stayed there for ages to try and get our breath back, and then we kind of set off again, and we were literally running out of everything. You'd taken the last swig of water.
Yeah, I had.
We had nothing. We had no resources left, no energy left, no heat resistance left. It was just the sun was beating down on us, and we finally saw a pub.
Yeah.
And we went into this pub, and you had a Yorkshire pudding.
I had a Yorkshire pudding full of. It was lovely, and I will never have a Yorkshire pudding like it because it was so nice. The moment was worth so much.
Yeah.
That the Yorkshire pudding also was worth quite a lot.
We had to go over the
Yeah, we
broken
did.
beacons on the way.
Yeah.
And that hill surprised us as well,
I can't remember it as much.
because we finished that hill and we thought we were only halfway up because of our experiences with the other hills taking so long. Once we got to the top of that hill, we thought, oh, this must be a trick.
Yeah.
And then we suddenly started going back down again.
Yeah, I think I remember. So we have managed to go up the last highest hill. So from beyond that hill, we should be able to see Cardiff. That is a very large hill, actually. I'm kind of worried that.
Yeah, that is not. We don't. Right. So basically,
around that hill. Or we've
Yeah.
started going down the big hill now.
So
That's another.
basically, we've come far enough down from the top of the hill up there to be fairly confident that that was the largest hill of today's voyage and the last large hill of the journey. We don't think there's any more big ones. There's a medium-sized one tomorrow, but then it's mostly downhill. So
Indeed. So what's that then? What's that big hill over there?
that must be, I think we veer around to the left now, and I think where we're going is over there in the groove of the valley.
Okay.
But
So-
that's all the big hills out of the way. That one was a nightmare though.
That was a nightmare. So without further ado, let's go.
A guide that runs a pub down in Merthyr arranged for us to stay somewhere down in Merthyr, which was fantastic. It was above a lovely little pizzeria,
Yes, it was.
and we had a nice pizza.
Nice pizza, lovely pizza. Oh, it's a video again. Jesus Christ. My brain's absolutely buggered. We were in a Pizza Hut. It's not. How I know a pizza
It's a quality Italian pizza restaurant.
quality
It's not a
Italian
pizza.
pizza. It's not a Pizza Hut. It's a pizza place. So we've got a massive pizza. We've got some garlic things, and it is.
Pretty good.
I'm not really up for the challenge. I'm sort of talking.
But we are in Merthyr Tydfil.
Yes, we are. On day 5, our final day, we travelled from Merthyr Tydfil with Rye's set on Rhoose Point.
How long can it sit?
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, if it goes too far, the salt will break down. What happens is almost too much juice comes out. But there's no reason why you couldn't. If you could do that now, and it'd still be delicious, like 5 o'clock tonight. It wouldn't sort of destroy it at all.
Susie, you're from Brighton.
I am, yeah.
How the sun is out. You know.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a joy, isn't it?
And-
I'm really aware of eating. The last time I was in the enjoy that. Just like, I'm just trying to be very.
The
The last day was lovely. There was only 37 miles,
37
36,
miles, I think.
something like that.
And it was, but the problem is we had to get there by a specific time to get the train back. We found a caravan park which we thought was Rhoose Point, and it turned out not to be. So we had to hop back on the bikes, go down into Rhoose Point, and we found Rhoose Point, and that's where we did our closing video.
Yes.
However, I do wish we'd have carried on down to the beach.
So
that
do
we'd have
I,
been on the beach.
yeah.
But we did. We got to Rhoose Point, which is the lowest point in Wales.
Yeah.
I just wish, as much. Now I look back on the video, because we were looking at the video, and when I look back on the video, it doesn't look as good as it would have looked if we were on the beach.
No, it doesn't.
But we did get there, and it was a long journey, and we did well. You did
Yeah.
well, particularly.
So we have finally made it to Rhoose Point. I would like to thank everybody who sponsored me and anybody who's helped us along the way. So we are going to head to the train station to get the train to
Merthyr.
Merthyr. We're going to stay the night at Merthyr. Then we are going to get another train back to Bangor, which is across the strait from our house. And then we're going to cycle back from Bangor to our home. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to slap that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye. There's Anglesey. There's home. That's better.
Highlight of the trip. What is your highlight of the trip, and explain why?
Highlight of the trip is probably having that Yorkshire pudding, because it was such a memorable, lovely moment.
Low light of the trip.
Low light of the trip, I will. Day 3's hill, the really tall hill, all getting stuck in the Canadian forest on day 2. What's your highlight of the trip?
My highlight of the trip wasn't eating the Yorkshire pudding myself. It was
And
seeing
watching
you.
me
It was
eating
watching you
Yorkshire
eating your
pudding.
food. That was
Lovely.
the highlight of my trip. Watching how excited you were, and being so relieved that we were no longer absolutely buggered.
Yeah,
Because we were just before that. I was genuinely.
When do you
concerned.
think was the cut-off that we realised that we were going to make it?
Make the whole journey?
Yeah.
I think there were several points for me, but actually I'd like to know where your points were on that.
I think Barmouth.
Okay,
I think Barmouth was the point that I realised we were going to make it.
a day and a half in.
Mm.
Okay,
Which was basically halfway.
it wasn't
Something like
halfway.
Wasn't halfway. It was more or less
It
halfway.
wasn't. It was
It
nowhere
was
near
nowhere near halfway. It was close enough.
Halfway was somewhere between Machynlleth and Bilfwells, closer to Machynlleth.
Was it really that
Yeah.
late?
Did you find it overwhelming?
I did find it overwhelming. Yes.
The idea of knowing how far you had to go. Did you find it overwhelming?
I did.
And
yeah.
it was very difficult to start,
It was
wasn't it?
very, very difficult to start.
Until we got to that.
I was
until we got
excited
to that
until
hotel.
about 2 yards in. At which point I
Yeah.
just oh my god.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, I think I gave the option to stop. Do you remember what you said? What did you say when I gave the option to stop?
Something along the lines of I have to do this.
You said I can't let everybody down.
Did I actually say that? Well done, me.
Yeah. You said I can't let everybody down to the trip.
Yes.
And it
And
suddenly
then it just went
went
suddenly really
blazing
hot.
sunshine for 4.5 days.
And in fact, I think it was the day that we finished that it started raining again.
It wasn't the day that we finished. It was the minute we finished.
minute
it
we
started
finished, yeah.
raining on our way to the
On
train
the train.
station.